Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. I just got back from a trip to Texas. It was 1,600 miles in 4 days, driving my second generation GS300. I had done this trip many times in the past, even in this car, but never in the middle of the summer. And let me tell you, this car didn't just perform, it excelled, especially when we hit those brutal 118-degree Fahrenheit temperatures. It handled like a champ. No complaints, no overheating, just pure smooth cruising. That trip solidified my belief that this car is the best car to own in 2025, and today I'm going to give you the 5 reasons. Some of these reasons are going to overlap with the reasons why I actually bought this car almost a year ago. So in a way, they do reaffirm the preconceptions I had of a GS300 before I bought this one. And I think I owe you this video because months ago, I made a video in which I talk about the 5 things that I hated about this car, and I never followed up with the counterpart. So consider this video a follow-up of that other video. Reason number 1, unrivaled reliability. The engine in this car, first of all, when you buy an old car, one of the most crucial points of buying one's reliability, especially you want to daily drive that old car, right? So the engine in this car is well known for being a bulletproof engine. We're talking about an engine that was designed and over-engineered to last a lifetime. Many owners report over 200,000, 300,000, even some of them pushing 400,000 miles on these unopened engines. My Texas trip was a testament to this. Miles of highway, often at high speeds in extreme heat. And the car didn't bat an eye. You just don't get this kind of built-in longevity in many modern cars. This San Diego to El Paso trip requires me to drive through California, then Arizona, then New Mexico, and then Texas. It's just a straight shot with miles and miles of nothingness and spotty phone signal. I just really wouldn't know what to do if my car failed in the middle of the road. But at the same time, my mind blocks that thought for how solid this car is. But I'll be honest, I always carry snacks and gallons of water and ice just in case I get stranded and need to wait for a tow truck. Like I said earlier, I have done this same trip a few times in this car, but this is the first time I've done it in the middle of the summer under severe heat conditions with temperatures constantly well above 110 degrees. If you have followed up with my channel, you should remember that in July of last year, 2024, I made this trip, but I went to Nevada and then to Texas, and it was similar harsh conditions, and the AC in my brand new 2024 Genesis GV7, they just couldn't keep up with the job. From 1 second to the next, the AC stopped blowing the coldest air it had. So it's refreshing to see that this decades-old car can perform in such manner. Reason number 2, comfort and quietness. You may not expect a 22-year-old vehicle to be a plush cruiser, but the 2003 GS300 defies expectations. Even with the modified suspension, the bigger wheels, and the lower profile tires, the seats are incredibly comfortable, offering excellent support for long hauls. On my California to Texas drive, I spent hours behind the wheel and I never felt unusually tired or sore. The driver's seat foam isn't as supportive as I'm sure it was when this car was new, but I was able to manage legs of up to 4 hours without a break, and this translates into shorter driving times for these long trips as I don't have to pull over as often, and when I do, all I need to do is maybe stretch my legs a little bit and then get back on the road. The cabin is also remarkably quiet. Lexus put a lot of effort into noise dampening materials, creating a serene environment that truly isolates you from the road and wind noise. These tires are not as quiet as the ones that came with the car. I do hear a little bit more road noise and rattling, but that's self-inflicted, so I'm not going to complain. As I mentioned before, I spot a little wind noise coming from the B-pillar on the driver's side, but nothing else to write home about. This makes highway driving an absolute pleasure, allowing you to relax and enjoy the journey, even through intense heat with the AC keeping up with the demands of the situation. It was kept at the coldest temperature, but the fan was in lower setting, so it wasn't as noisy because otherwise it would just get too cold. Reason number 3, affordable maintenance and parts availability. Now, when you're looking at a car from 2003, one of the biggest concerns is always maintenance cost and parts availability. This is where the GS300 shines again because it shares so many components with other Toyota and Lexus models. Parts are readily available, and generally very reasonably priced. In my last video, I talked about how I just spent a little over $1,000 on routine maintenance. So I feel that even in the case of major maintenance, my car still presents a financial advantage versus buying a new car with everything that comes with it. Some of the replacement parts that I have needed during my tenure, I found them on Amazon or AutoZone, so no luxury car tax here. And again, I also feel that driving this Toyota in a tuxedo is often far less expensive than dealing with a complex European luxury car of the same era. My road trip proved that preventive maintenance on these cars pays off. And when something does go wrong or needs attention, it's usually not a bank breaker. There are mechanics that just won't touch my old BMW but are willing to service my Lexus. Let's be honest, design matters. The second generation Lexus GS has aged incredibly well. The lines are clean, understated, and still look sophisticated today. It doesn't scream for attention, but it commands respect with short overhangs and a wide stance. I often get compliments for how clean it looks. Sure, I still think that the GS300 from this era looks better, but find one in similar condition would have cost me a lot more money. Like I said in the past, not a single fake vent or ornamental trim piece throughout the body, which is nice. Inside, the quality of the materials is evident. The leather still feels good. The wood accents may be a little antiquated, but tasteful for the era, and everything just feels solid. It's that Lexus classic luxury, built to last, not just for a few years. In an era where car designs are getting more aggressive and often convoluted, the GS300 timeless aesthetic is a breath of fresh air. And the dimensions of this car offer modern times room for 4 adults. The full comfort of the front row doesn't extend to the rear passengers, as there are not any AC controls back here, but you do get this marginal access to the cool air coming from the rear vents. But again, the AC performs so well that I was able to keep it cool in the whole cabin, even in bumper-to-bumper traffic for 4 adults in El Paso weather. And yes, they're still wrapped in a sedan form, so you get a secure, fully lined trunk and the 3-box shape that some of us still prefer over anything else. Finally, let's talk about value. In 2025, you can pick up a well-maintained 2003 Lexus GS300 for a fraction of the original cost of the car. I did pay top dollar for this one, but you can get one in similar condition with maybe a little bit more miles for about half of what I paid for this one, which was $8,500. When you offer a second generation GS, you're getting a car with legendary reliability, superb comfort, and timeless design, and affordable running costs, all for the price that is incredibly difficult to beat in the current car market today. For what you pay, the experience you get is truly remarkable. It's a car that gives you a premium feel without the premium price tag or headaches often associated with older luxury vehicles from Europe. My 1,600-mile road trip confirmed that this is just not a good deal. It's one of the smartest automotive choices you can make in 2025. And on a side note, I think that there are other good cars from the early to mid 2000s that can offer a similar blend of reliability, value, and features. And of course, most of these cars on my list are made by Lexus and Acura in that order. Sure, you can find their direct cousins with Toyota and Honda badges, but Lexus and Acura usually offer a little more when it comes to sound insulation, features, and overall comfort. But when you add the fact that this is a real-wheel drive car, then the list gets a lot shorter. So even considering this car's Achilles tendon, which is fuel efficiency, it will take you a few years of driving a new car to offset the cost of a new car with modern fuel efficiency. I spent about $250 on this trip, and I did the math of what it would cost me to drive a new Lexus ES350, for example, and it would have been about $200, but a new ES350 retails for about $45,000 when you can get a well-sorted GS300 for around $5,000. So there you have it, my 5 reasons why I think that the 2003 Lexus GS300 is the best sedan to own in 2025. My recent road trip to from California to Texas, and during those brutal, harsh temperatures reinforced my conviction. This is my opinion. I know you have yours, and I want to hear it. I can almost already hear comments like, what about the first generation? Well, they're just not around anymore. Less safety features, less gears, less aftermarket support, and less aesthetically appealing to me. And what about the third generation? Again, that's undeniably a better car than this one. I just never fell in love with the body style of the vehicle. It looked more like a four-door coupe in such a visionary way, because you see that car shape in many modern vehicles today. Now, the fourth generation went back to the three-box design, but as of today, the fourth generation GS is very expensive to buy. If you're looking for a reliable, comfortable, stylish, and affordable daily driver, or even a long-distance rear-wheel drive cruiser, you absolutely need to consider this gem. Have you owned a second generation GS? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more car related content. I hate to ask you for likes and to subscribe and to write comments, but that's just how the algorithm works for YouTube. So if you want to help my channel, do those things. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.